afternoon, everyone. I'm back to do another video for us. Still channeling from my short earlier. I feel like this is just more information to elaborate for those who like longer videos. This will provide more insight into some truths here that are coming to the surface. And your guides are working with you right now to ensure that you continue to work in the energy of truth, which is the element of air, and you are ready and you have the energy to do it. I feel both people involved here are very airy. The structures are open. I don't feel blocks like heavy, dense energy that would prevent you from being able to process the next steps as you come together to start talking about these truths in the open. You've known for a very long time, Divine Feminine, and I don't read gender, I just read energy. So for those of you who identify as the High Priestess, you've known for a very long time what has been required here to be able to get to this point, and you've done it in such a way that would be unfathomable to most who operate from a material point of view, from a very 3D reality, in that they only approach things that way. You have higher understanding that it's more than that. You have access to the realms, you have access to things most people don't. So because this is a very divine union, a very special one, it requires access to different parts of the realms to be able to do what you needed to do to get things to this point. Now, your counterpart is holding up their end of the bargain as well. He showed up as the King of Wands here, and he's ready, and he is razor sharp focused on you. But it's your strength that he admires, and your stability in maintaining a position of strength and power despite all the shenanigans and all the troubles and all the worries and all the things that have happened, because he couldn't get to this point up until now. He always worried that he would lose you. He worried that you wouldn't have this energy and be in this energy for long enough to better understand and to be patient and to wait and to focus on you and to be this amazing, magnanimous woman that you are, energy that you are, okay? You've had to overcome a lot of Eight of Swords energy. That's not easy. A lot of times you would be here and then you would again tap into all your tools and what you have access to and what you've had access to pull yourself out of there. And that's our job. That's what we do. If you understand and embody an energy like this, it's not easy. So, but somehow he understands this now at a deeper level. You probably started to open up a little bit about this with him, and you would have done it in a perfect way. If you were very out there with it, that's the perfect way for your prescribed frequency and vibration and union. Not everyone is the same, but there would be similarities. The point of it is that you do talk about it. And the point of it is that this other person needs to also understand and accept that this is part of it. And in this case, this person really does now compared to before. And they're not like, what was the word I was getting? I was hearing like hooked, but like they were kind of stuck before on having a perspective of this that was not accurate. So as you started to show this side of you, like what I was saying earlier, then it helped this person understand, and all the concerns were alleviated because he finds it very beautiful and special, and he just is in awe when you're in this energy with him. And it's helping him tap into his High Priestess energy, High Priest energy, okay? So he sees that you're well put together, you're strong, your life, you're in good shape, okay? So where this person came from is that in the past, he realizes he rushed into making decisions and picked poor partners when it came to building a family with somebody that really didn't embody the qualities that he now sees are super important to make him happy and to make him feel safe and secure in all the ways that you are able to do that. Nobody else has ever done that. And it's allowed, so by shining your light and being who you are, it really has afforded this person to go back and compare in a way to better understand and learn why these relationships in the past failed. There's kids involved here, okay, potentially for some people out there. And he has a lot of deep regrets around the impact that these failed unions have had on the kids. And then it's also making him feel like he let people down, that he let his family down, his like first family, so like his parents. I feel like this is a traditional masculine here that really had old-fashioned views in terms of like a patriarchal type of an arrangement where men are supposed to do A, B, C, D, E and function in a very prescribed way. And he kind of carried through with that. And most people do without realizing that they do think like that because they were heavily influenced by their upbringing. Everybody is. And I'm not saying that was necessarily a bad thing for this person. It's just that kept him stuck and bound and not being able to understand how to get out of these situations, in that he did everything to try and make these situations work because he felt he had to stay. And this person, his parents probably were not ever separated or divorced. And if they are now, it could be because one passed on or something's happened, but it's not because, quote unquote, there was like a split, okay? So he's having a better understanding now with that Ace of Wands that he probably should have left a long time ago. And he also rushed into these decisions as well and didn't really think things through and was really panicked at one point around just wanting what he wanted when he wanted it. Because this Knight of Swords with the Seven of Cups there is heavy energy around like rush, being confused, and look at not knowing exactly the right decision to make. And he did it kind of showing me with his eyes closed. They were open, but he didn't really see clearly. So he has a lot of that understanding now. And you might have had similar situations in that, you find yourself on your own, independent, and really had to work hard to achieve that. And maybe you haven't had the opportunity to really talk in depth about these things with each other. I feel like there's a sense here of these things, but there isn't like great detail around how you each have processed that and where you are today with it all. And I think there would be value if you can start tabling some of these conversations, because it will really help you progress with the healing and move on. So I feel like now, seeing the way you are with that comparable here from the past, he really sees that if he had to do it all over again, you would be a perfect choice and the wisest choice out of who he would want as a role model for his kids. So the Empress is at the left, which is the past position. I put the crystal here, and the High Priestess, which is you, viewer, if you're tuning in for a potential union here with somebody you care about. He places you above this person now because he knows that you have the additional tools needed for a successful relationship with him. He is now understanding, and he has a lot of passion for himself, and he's focused on himself. And this person probably took a lot of time to be on his own, which was the right thing to do, and is now really passionate and hopeful about life again, about love again, and sees the strength and the divinity within himself. All you did was be yourself, and you're shining a mirror to this person. And he's very grateful, and he's very hopeful that you'll still want this once he's ready to finally step in and make the offer. My team's clapping. I like when they do that. Sorry, I just want to finish my thought because I was talking about here, this is the future position, and he places his kids there because now he's ready to just focus on his kids. Never mind this one from before. Okay, we're going to put her over here. She was kind of trying to hang on there. And, you know, he is focused on continuing to be, to raise his kids, even if they're young adults. You know, they always will need their parents. Doesn't matter how old they become, you know. And he's excited, if he's away right now, viewer, to come back and to talk to you about this. Because I'm getting that he's going to overcome the fear here, which is again in a past position, and really tell you a lot more than what he has shared so far around what happened and why he couldn't talk to you about these things necessarily if he hasn't up until now. So we're giving a clearing to this person here who has been struggling and has been saying things that probably weren't accurate, probably has been scaring this person, putting this person down, really traumatized this person. And I don't want to victimize this person. I'm just talking about what I'm picking up with what this person would have been doing to keep this person stuck and made him feel horrible if it was him that stepped away in these past relationships, okay? People will, I'm hearing infected, but a wounded empress can be very toxic. And when it comes to children, we'll use the children to make ex-partners suffer, quote unquote, or give them trouble. And create conflict where there isn't and normally wouldn't be any conflict, okay? So just know that he sees all of this for what it is now. And this is what makes him feel really sad that he chose somebody like this and that it ended up being like this with this person. But, you know, he's staying focused on himself. See how far apart they are here? Very far apart. And she's been neutralized here, so that's fantastic. We don't need to worry about that energy so much. So they want me to keep pulling a few more cards here, so let's see. Yeah, there's a Tower. There's something that's happened, like I said, that's having this person come to new realizations about things overall, and they're just feeling so much relief and feel better knowing that they can enter a partnership with somebody that will collaborate in a way that will feel like he's not alone and all the pressure is not on him, and that you can problem solve with him, and that he can come to you for advice and you're not going to ridicule him, put him down, make him feel weak, and all these things. The stubbornness here is gone, because we know a toxic King of Wands can be very problematic and very stubborn. He's sorry it took so long, you know, to figure all this out. And he once, you know, promised his kids all sorts of things when he was wounded, you know, that he wouldn't rush into any other relationship ever again. And that maybe he made promises that he'll never enter another relationship. I don't know. But whatever it is that he knows he has to circle back around and have another conversation with them. I think once you guys reveal to each other what it is that you want, to clarify what it is that you want for each other, he relies heavily, he's going to rely heavily on your opinion and your thoughts and feelings, and he wants to make a very well-informed decision this time. He doesn't want to assume anything. He doesn't want anything to ever go wrong again like before. If you've tried this and it didn't work out, maybe somebody was interfering here. Yeah, see, he knows he needs to defend and protect himself, keep his energy safe, keep his kids safe from this toxic energy. And a thing of the past, he doesn't want to wait. Oh yeah, he's heavily thinking about it this weekend. Lots and lots of thoughts around you and the best way to come forward. Yeah, he doesn't want to be judged, and he knows that in order not to be judged inappropriately because of assumptions or gossip or things that might be out there, or things that you might think because he hasn't told you the truth, that he needs to open up. And it's not that he was lying, quote unquote, to cause harm. It's just he didn't feel ready to talk about it. There's a difference. Okay, it's still withholding, but it's not in a mean way. We can't force people to feel comfortable with doing anything. You know, we need to be patient, give people time to do what they need to do. I feel like you did, because the High Priestess goes within. And you do this very, very well. So there's no toxic anything anymore. You've overcome and achieved a level in terms of vibration and frequency that is untouchable by any dark force. And there's nothing that can affect your destiny any longer. And you're well within your rights to achieve union here if you want. Okay. Everyone has free will. The destiny's there, the path is there, but it's your choices to step into this path when it's time and when it's made available to you. If you choose not to and you go on a different path, that's fine. This path's always here, though. You can always find your way back. Now, because it's two people, if you both don't step in at the same time when you have the opportunity and one steps away, the other one doesn't have to wait. They could step somewhere else and continue on. And if this person circles back around, this person may not be there. So you have to be discerning, and you always have to, I feel, do what's best for you. And in my opinion, it's always important to be transparent as much as possible. And don't do anything unless you feel ready, but ask questions and be patient, be kind and respectful with communication. I feel like this person is going to be able to do that in a much better way compared to before. It's more a shyness too. It's like, I feel like a pretty big nervousness around being expressive with emotional things, and they're not used to that. If they were met with like harsh energy here from a dark empress, dark feminine, that's another reason they might feel really nervous and scared. He trusts you. Feels you're angelic, and I'm hearing the word beautiful. And you're beautifully matched here. This is a really nice match here. And he made a choice this weekend to go somewhere instead of coming to talk to you about this. Maybe he originally was going to, something came up, I don't know. There's a little bit of a delay here, I feel, that happened this weekend. I don't know why. But no, don't worry. He's thinking about making some changes right now and coming to see you. Because there's something he wants to talk to you about. He needs help with something. You might go for a ride. Yeah, because he's needing your strength, your advice on something. And he's going to prioritize this. He's going to prioritize you. He's going to come to you. Other people were trying to give him advice, and it's like, no. I need to come see her. I need to talk to her. Something here he wants to talk to you about. Trust your judgment. He knows your judgment is sound, and it would be on point with what it is that he needs. Yeah, victory. And it's been a long time since he's had what he wanted. I think this man sacrificed a lot for others and often puts his own needs aside, or historically maybe has done that a lot. He has a hard time saying no. He ran from this too. Hiding is difficult in that it wouldn't feel good to have so much inside of you and not share it, But he's ready to share now. I don't see any hiding here. I really don't. And he's choosing what is most important to him and what makes him feel good over all the things that slowed him down before. Doesn't want to hide. Okay. He sees you as free and clear and ready to go, and he knows that. So you are kind of in a position where you're just kind of waiting to see what this person's going to do. You're not just waiting at home doing nothing. You're living your best life, but you are holding space for this person. And if you're not and you're watching this, then this isn't for you, viewer. Okay. There's lots of other videos if you want to go take a look. I'm just connecting here with couples that are tied to each other beautifully in a very deep spiritual union. And it's because they have an open heart for this type of union, and they're ready to step into a union like this. Okay. And I don't think he's ever tapped into his spiritual side before meeting you. You helped him kind of tap into that, and he's very curious and he likes it. He's nervous, but it's for all of us who, when we first started, it does emanate a feeling of nervousness a bit because it's new. And depending on if you've been exposed to any of this before or not, or if you haven't thought about your spirit and your soul before, and you haven't really talked about it or used the words or come across information like that, it can be very anxiety provoking, I guess, for some. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But challenge yourself, open up. This person wants to. They have lots of questions. They're very curious about how you're doing, and they hope you're not struggling with the fact that it's been tough not hearing from them the way that you wanted to, Yeah. They held back here. Let's see. But the divine has tapped into their, the divine responded to their requests. What I'm seeing is like somebody thinking in meditation, prayer, like laying down, dreaming, sleeping, and the divine is connecting with them that way. It's a very beautiful, natural way of sharing guidance that would be very different than the way you've done it, but it's exactly what this person needed and the way that they needed it to be able to receive it in a very gentle way and a progressive kind of a way, not all at once, not too much, too fast. And they've been pleasantly surprised with the information they've learned and the gifts they've received, and they are starting to tap into their own gifts, okay? And they love it. They love it. They feel so special. They feel small a bit, though, thinking about coming to you with something, because they know that you're just this grand energy, and they feel silly if they say want to give you a little something. They feel like you might think it's not enough. But that's just their insecurity here talking. I think that they would be pleasantly surprised if they challenged themselves, because I know that somebody like you would be so happy to receive anything from this person, especially if they're stepping into their spiritual side, and that would be just fantastic. So, we wish that Empress all the best as well. We don't want any harm here for anyone, but certainly hopeful that she will carry on her life in a different way now after receiving some energy here, some healing, and carry on with her life and leave this person be. And I hope that this person is brave enough to be able to share some of this history with you so you can have a better understanding of what they've gone through, because it'll help you learn more about this person. And I feel simultaneously it'll allow this person to grow in processing it with somebody you trust so much, like somebody like you, okay? And I feel like he realizes now he's been silly in thinking you would judge him, but you mean this much to him, and you touch him in such a way that it would be awful for him to ever lose you. So, often people don't share because they just assume that you'll judge and then you'll carry on and leave them behind, I'm not getting that at all, though, from this energy here. But he doesn't really know. He wasn't sure. But I feel like the time is here now to talk about this, and I feel like this is a repeated message over and over. And when we see that, it's because a lot of people are in this stage and they just need support to get there. So that's why these readings exist, to assist people. And I hope if you found yourself here today that some of the messages resonated and it helps support you and as you step into this energy, because it's beautiful energy. Congratulations to this beautiful masculine and this high priestess who have worked really hard to get here. And I know that once you step into this next phase of your journey, you're going to surprise each other in ways that you couldn't even fathom. All right, this is the divine beauty of unions like this. So Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone, and we'll chat again real soon. Take care.